Tommy. How are you?
I'm good, fellas. How are
Tommy,
you?
go ahead.
Yes.
Your thoughts?
I would start with just remember, Kap, as I told you a long time ago, louder does not equate to smarter. So just keep that in your back pocket.
Yerk told me if you say it loudly with conviction, it means you're always right.
It just means you scare people is all you do. That's what you do. You
Yerk
scare them into
Yerk
thinking that you're
scares me.
right.
He's intense.
Yeah.
The other day.
I get fired up, Tommy, when people say things that are stupid.
I get it.
I got to call
Can
them
I
out.
just ask you guys a question, though? You guys know more about basketball than I'll ever know.
That's a fine.
Oh, come on, that wasn't finable, Jonathan.
Bernie's
It wasn't
book-
close to finable. That
Bernie's
was,
book
you know
make
what?
that work.
I'd like, you know what? I want to take this to arbitration. I don't believe that was finable. I'd like for an impartial panel to actually assess that and get back to me.
Here, let me pull it out. I got a panel for you. Hold on.
I bet you do. My question to you guys is, does it matter? Does it really? Jonathan, you could, and this is no disrespect, but you could be on the sidelines for that Bulls team.
Yeah.
There's only so much you're going to be able to do. So, like, if Billy Donovan said today, I'm leaving, okay. If Billy Donovan said today, I'm staying, you'd be like, okay. Mm-hmm. Until they decide that they want to do something that, symbolizes that what they're trying to do is get to the top of the NBA mountain, then I really don't think it doesn't even matter who's on the sideline calling the shots.
Yeah, well, especially with this front office with the Bulls. I guess.
Yeah, that's my point.
I guess my overarching point, Tom, was just saying that I think that Billy Donovan's too good for this regime. Like, I think that he is an excellent coach, college or pro, but it's just kind of like he's neutered. He's just sitting there, and he's graying like a president, hoping to be able to just get in the play-in game every year. And I just know in our regular conversation, when we criticize the Bulls, Donovan's never in the conversation, rightfully so. Yeah, is he part of it? Yes. But it's out of his hands when he's dealt a bad hand every year.
Yeah, look, again, I defer to the two of you guys on this. I don't know if he's a good coach or a bad coach. I know that he's done some really good things in his career. My concern a couple of years ago was they weren't developing anybody. Like, nobody was getting better. Patrick Williams wasn't getting better. Kobe White was kind of just who he was. They just weren't developing anyone. That's changed a little bit. Io has been much better this year. Kobe White has obviously been much better.
Because they put money into player development. They stole Peter Patton away from the Mavericks and got him home and added to his staff. The head coach is not the guy who does the player development. It's the staff underneath that's there working tirelessly, and then the player has to be committed to doing that.
Yeah, no, I agree, Kap. I just, this is why I've said that I just don't know. I don't know how good a coach he is or isn't, so I'm just going to have to take your word for it because I don't think that the structure is there and the infrastructure, rather, is there for people to, even make a really impassioned conclusion. So it's sad. It really is. Like, and not to bring everyone down, but it's the same about the White Sox. Like, look, I just want. We're a town that is very patient, very patient. But I just want my professional sports teams to at least give me the feeling that they're trying. And as long as you're trying and you're putting the resources to work and you're trying to win and be as good an organization as you can, you're not always going to win more than you lose. I get it. I can be patient with that. I'm just not so sure in every instance that's the case anymore.
Tommy, the other day we were talking about faces of Chicago sports in 2024, and we're trying to figure out where the superstar power is. I think the majority of our listeners thought that Connor Bedard is either that guy or going to be that guy as far as bright faces and superstars for the future. I'm going to add to that list and add Christopher Morel to that list. I think that he's only scratching the surface of the kind of player that he can be. Big-time home run yesterday against the Padres. I just like the personality and the ability of this young guy to really be a difference maker at some point.
I like him too, Jonathan. I didn't see it. My ass was asleep last night when he hit that. But
you're better than that.
No, I'm not better than that. And I'm here to tell you right now, right here and right now, I'm not better than that. I went to sleep. That's what old guys do. I think he gives your team, Kap, an energy that is desperately needed. He brings a joy to the game. Now, again, that only goes so far. But you're right, Jonathan. He's got pop. He's got, he gives your team, something that, he's got tangibles and intangibles. I don't know whether or not he's going to throw it in the fifth row of the stands every time he's got it at third base. I have no idea where it's going to go. I just know that, and Sylvie talked about this a lot last year, and it really frustrated him, that he wanted to see Morrell get at bats, and David Ross was always leaning on Trey Mancini or whoever, whatever the hell his name was,
right,
and a bunch of other guys, instead of letting this young guy kind of prove to you who he is. And I think that's one thing Council's going to let him do. But he's an exciting player with a ton of pop in his bat.
Tommy, there was a piece written by Jeff Passan and said on ESPN.com why Major League Baseball must act now on alarming rate of pitching injuries. We've heard from several pitchers that say that the reason why that there's injuries is because of the pitch clock. Do you think there's any validity to that? I don't think it is.
We talked about this a little bit on our show, Jonathan. I'm maybe some, but I think like Mellor's like our baseball nerd. So Mellor's really dialed into all this, and Mellor says like all these guys go to this. And Kap, you may know, I don't know, you're a baseball nerd in some ways too. They go to these facilities in the offseason to try to get their velocity up. And Mellor says that the quest to try to get like Shane Bieber, got his velocity way up, and then what do you know? After two of his best starts in his entire career, he's on the shelf for the year with an arm that needs to be operated on. He thinks that it's this quest, this unquenchable thirst to continue to push the envelope with regard to the velocity, because it's proven that once you get over a certain number, whether it's 97 or 98, it becomes significantly more difficult to catch up to that fastball. So that quest is what's getting guys. But I think that the players, not to get too deep into the weeds, Jonathan, but I think the players are pissed off that they just randomly said at the end of last year, we're going to take a couple seconds off the the pitch clock for you with runners on base. Isn't that what they did? Mm-hmm. And this is kind of a clap back. Oh, really? You took the time away from us, and now everyone's arms breaking down. I don't know that you can connect those dots directly, but something's got to be figured out, because I'm one of these old school baseball fans that I'm just as happy watching a 2-1 pitcher's duel than I am watching, the long ball. I like to watch games that are pitched exceptionally well, and some of the best pitchers in the game are, We were having this conversation, too, about, like, some of these high school kids, you listen to what they're talking about. They're thirsting for Tommy John surgery so they can get it out of the way, and because it actually allows them to throw the ball harder. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Nonsense.
Please cut on me now, so I will have to do it later.
Yeah. Silly.
Dr. Andrews, who's the guru, he spoke and said that the Tommy John ligament, which is the ulnar collateral ligament, this was just the other day, is not fully matured till age 26.
It's like the brain. I think they say your brain's not fully complete or done growing until you're 25 or 26.
So he said the reason you're having all these injuries, and he said, I do have parents go, my kid's healthy, but can you do the Tommy John now?
Right.
So if it blows out, he goes, are you out of your mind?
Yeah,
no.
Crazy.
You don't do that. He said, excuse me.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
That's a fine. That's a fine right there. He can pay his and mine.
Okay, right, just clear it out, Harry.
I'll pay yours. So he said the problem is spin rate. You are trying to put on an 18 to 22-year-old kids these insane spin rates. That is what is leading to all the injuries.
That's
because
crazy.
It's not a fully formed deal. He said, learn how to pitch by changing speeds, move the ball in, move the ball out, up, down, and lay off of so many breaking balls until you're in your mid-20s.
Yeah. Hey, Jonathan, can I go back to something before you guys send me home?
Sure.
You talked about the superstars, or the who is the face of sports in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And we mentioned Morrell, and I have an affinity for him as well, despite the fact I'm a Reds fan, but I really like the way the kid plays and the enthusiasm he brings to the game. And I think we all hope, don't we, that Caleb Williams is that guy. I was talking to Charlie at the break,
yes.
and like, there's a really good, fingers crossed, no guarantees, and I know that, this is something that has divided the Bears fan base over the course of the last couple of months. But the hope is that this is that moment where they finally get it right, and the person that is leading the way with regard to sports popularity in our great city is the quarterback of our favorite football team. Like, can you imagine how at peace and excited we would all be as fans if that was the
Tommy,
case?
who's the Mount Rushmore for you of Chicago sports?
That's another fine, bro. You need to get a lozenge.
No, he's powering through. He's just got allergies.
Okay.
It's
All right.
bad. Jeez.
The-
Ragweed. Heavy on the weed.
That's his new nickname is Ragweed.
Oh, God.
All right,
J Hood and Ragweed coming up at
quickly.
7.
Give me your Mount Rushmore of Chicago sports all time today.
Oh, I mean, obviously it's Jordan.
Yep.
It's gosh, who would it be?
Peyton.
Peyton probably. I mean, you got to put. Don't you have to put Kaner there?
For me, it's Kane, Jordan, Peyton, Banks.
Yeah, I mean, there's some subjectivity to it, but moral of the story is the hope is that 20 years from now,
Caleb Williams will be on
Caleb
that
Williams
Mount
is
Rushmore.
going to be on that Mount
Agreed.
Rushmore. I mean,
Agreed.
so that's the hope. I mean, and look, we're closing in on the draft, which is cool. It's very exciting.
15 days, kid.
Yeah.
That's the guy, Jonathan, that I hope we're talking about in the same type of conversation. Is wow, how great is it to be, a city that finally has found their difference-making quarterback.
Yes.
You can hope.
Yes, and in 3 years we'll get calls that say you should have taken J.J. McCarthy. He was there all along. McCarthy. He was a champion.
Have a great day, Tommy.
So
All right,
it's a lot.
fellas.
What do you mean?
We got to go.
Oh, we don't have
Where
to
you
go.
going, Kat?
We got to be on time.
What?
Got to be on time. Have a
When
great
did you
day.
take your discipline pills today?
Yeah,
What
I
are we
did.
talking about?
I did. Have a great
Wow.
day. We'll be listening to you and still
Hey,
be
Jonathan,
Please
you
don't
have a
let the
good
door
one,
hit
buddy.
you either, Tommy.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
It was-
I get up early for you
It's
today, Cap, and
7:58.
That's the
Get
kind
out.
of send-off you get me?
Yeah,
No,
Get out.
listen, Tom. You know what happened? We were having a good time. That's what happened.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We appreciate the time. Thank you.